Welcome, Libra. This is your monthly focus for October 2022. So let's start with just talking about the energy of the stars in the sky for you right now and what that means, and then we'll take a look at what the cards have to say, and yes, pull an oracle card as well. So the first thing that we really need to talk about is on October the 2nd, Mercury going direct. Now, Mercury is right now in your 12th house. Okay, but the fog is going to start to lift. Trust me on that. It will move back into your house and your voice will come alive again. So where you have been struggling to say your opinion, use your voice in a strong way, in a positive way, and maybe you've fallen short a couple of times, know that you're starting to move forward in the right direction when it comes to your voice, comes to your strength. Now on October the 9th, we will have a full moon in Aries, and that means that your partnerships, it'll be about your partnerships. Now, if you are in a love relationship of any kind, it could be best friends, it could be a spouse, but you're going to find that perhaps you need to separate and find your own individuality more than you need to come together. I think that's a way of coming together that is a very deepened energy, that you both find your way forward individually with your own interests, with your own loves, and come together with your mutual ambitions in your relationships. So even that your mutual ambitions could be changing around this time. Okay, but it's a time of complete balance. And you both know exactly where you stand in your union. So it is a beautiful, strong relationship energy, but I think you're going to find that both of you doing your own thing and really concentrating on your own thing, your own interests, your own careers, might bring in a stronger relationship down the road. Now on October the 25th, we have the solar eclipse, and that'll be in Scorpio. So we're probably looking at your earning potential, your money, your finances, and growing that. So on top of that, Venus, the planet of money and love, of course. Money and love follow very close parallels in the spiritual realm. So I know we're talking about Venus, and Venus is usually love, but it could also be money. And since your earning potential is being upped, I would have to assume that Venus is more about your love of moving forward with more money. Now, this could be an opportunity to make money in a way that's pretty impressive. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to bring out yourself and show your talents and show your abilities and show your truth, because it's strong right now. And then, of course, you'll have Jupiter re-entering more of your mundane day-to-day stuff, but it'll be putting growth there. So usually our mundane is our job, is the way we gain a paycheck. So Jupiter's there to expand the abundance in that area. So lucky you, huh? Anyways, we'll go to the cards here. So love definitely is probably a theme that you'll be looking at throughout this month, but it's more of being the independent within the relationship and allowing your partner to be that as well, and coming together and really being dynamic because of it. Okay, there could be, and you could also, I mean, there's a rarity here, but it could be that because it is a full moon, that you realize that the relationship doesn't really give you the support or the love that you need in order to go forward. So that, I'll throw that out there, but chances are it's a very positive energy for you all through the month, so I can't see that full moon bringing in a negative, but for some people it just may. Absolutely. But there's definitely more money to be made on a daily basis, or a weekly basis, or it's salary, it's paychecks, it's maybe you find a new way of earning money, but I mean, that could be as well. But something happens, and I mean, look at whatever comes your way when it comes to upping your financial success in life, because there's going to be probably many offers on the table to you. Okay, so how exciting is that? Okay, let's cut the cards here. And we'll take a look and see what they have to tell us. So our first card here is the Four of Cups. Okay, it's all about gratitude. The more grateful you are to have that partner in your life, to have that spouse, that loved one in your life, I mean, really, write it in your journal, affirm it each and every day, let them know it. It's so important during this time. Also, that you have a job or there is opportunity for you to go to work. That you have your health or you have your well-being in order to be able to even physically go to that job and perform to your best intent. So it's about being grateful for the here and now, being grateful for, the very present moment in time. So if you can be grateful for each and every day and what transpires during that day, it is going to make your world so much better. We have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is saying, there's different opportunities that are going to come your way. It's not just all neat in a box and gift wrap for you. You kind of have to make some decisions when it comes to this. So in that decision-making period, we do not want to just grab the shiniest cup and run. We want to think it through. It might be that old tattered one with the dent and the crack in it. That might be the cup that you actually picked because of what it holds inside for you. So each of these cups potentially hold a destiny or a future for you. And so we have to really think through which cup we're grabbing because we can't come back and switch it up after. That's the one we're picking. So give it some thought, ponder it, pray on it, meditate on it. Really think it through before you finally make your final decision in it. And then we have the Ten of Cups, which is the happily ever after. So in this month, you'll have a conscious choice to move your entire life into the happily ever after. It depends on what you're saying yes to, on what cup you grab. So make sure that you're not doing this as a very spontaneous action. You might really regret a decision that you make too early on that kind of ropes you in or ties you in. Maybe there was a contract involved that you can't break. So just be leery of those things because something is coming along. Now that could very well be the thing, but I mean, we want to keep the gate open during this time. We want to see what comes our way, who knocks on our door, or what we're able to see or tap into. Because your happily ever after is definitely a part of this reading going forward. So the happily ever after definitely is something in October that you really want to look at. Okay, and the gratitude, be grateful for the experience of creating your life best ever. Now let's look at work, finances. Oh my goodness, look at that. The Six of Wands. You can't make this stuff up. Sitting on top of the Ten of Cups, I might add. So this is great successes for you. Congratulations. You're really going somewhere when it comes to your career, when it comes to how you make a living. Now it could be your voice, because our voice was kind of held back there a little during that Mercury retrograde. Maybe you felt like you didn't have that voice, or you weren't making sense, or nobody was listening to you. Things change now. Now you're finding great successes as you go forward, and this is not a time to rest. Notice that you are in full armor still, okay? Notice that, the laurel, right? It's there to say, do not rest on your laurels right now. You are ready to go forward. You are ready to say charge. You are ready to conquer. You are ready for challenges. You are ready to be greater than you already are. For love and relationships, here we are, the Four of Pentacles. Maybe we hold on too tightly in our relationships and we almost smother that person sometimes. I really get this separation, and it's not a separation like you're sleeping on the couch or you get a motel room. It's a separation in what you're doing and how you're enjoying your days. And right now, I think the intention really needs for you to both be doing your own thing and growing your own interests and working your careers and your job in such a way and being able to give it the energy, because it's a lot easier to do those things when we have the nod of approval from our partner. Now, I'm not saying that we have to wait for a nod of approval. I'm not one to ever wait for a nod of approval. But it's a lot easier to walk the path when we know that we've got the support from the people we love in our life. So just make sure that you're not holding on too tightly to parts of your relationship that is the combined relationship, okay? The mutual ambitions of the relationship, that those things might be fading. Those things might actually be fading, okay? You might be very right. Remember, we have our happily ever after card right here. It's the cup we pick that will determine these things. You're holding on too tightly to something, and you need to let that go. Your relationship, if it's sound now, it'll be sound in a month from now when you come back together. And yes, mutual ambitions could definitely be changing. You might be letting go of some of your obligations and responsibilities within the relationship. They may be doing the same thing, okay? And so it's about reforming the relationship in a way that works for everybody. And it'll make your union so much stronger. Oh my goodness, you have the potential here to really, really grow that relationship into exactly what you want it to be going forward. Now we'll look at our spirituality. Our spirituality, you might be kind of, thinking like God, your angels, your spirit guides, the cosmos, the universe, they're abandoned you in some way. Where are they? Why aren't they here helping you? And that could very well feel like that in the energy that you have walked through in order to get to the here and now. So do not lose faith. You are on the threshold of the door of abundance. That's where they left you set. Okay? 6 planets are, I think it's 6 planets right now, maybe 5 planets. I think 6 when we go in, and then it becomes 5, but then it becomes 6 again. Saturn goes stationary. Well, 5 or 6, okay? Let's not split hairs on that. But when there's a large amount of planets that are in retrograde, it is about putting on the brakes. It is about thinking things through. It isn't about forward motion at all. So where you've been trying to push forward and you haven't been getting anywhere, that's because they plopped you on the steps here. And they wanted you to sit patiently and wait for them, because they're going to be opening that door of abundance for you quite shortly. And they wanted you right where you needed to be. So where you're thinking you're lost, you're thinking that there is no future, you're thinking that you're stuck here in some way, you're not. And pretty soon you're going to stand up straight, strong, throw back your shoulders, stick your chin out, and walk straight with a determination that you have always owned. Maybe you don't feel like you own it right now, but trust me, in a very short time, you'll have that empowerment back if you so choose to grab onto it. For our health and well-being, look at that, the Queen of Cups. It's about loving yourself. You're already perfect. You don't need to do anything more. The Queen of Cups is here to say, love you. And start dreaming about your potential and what you want to put into that cup. There's that cup again. We've grabbed it now, and how are we going to fill it? How is it going to change our lives? What are the things that are going to come into existence? How are we going to make that cup overflow with our passions, with our dreams, with our desires, with our love? How are we going to do that? Because we are in total control. We are actually holding on to the cup of our future. We get the choice of what goes in that cup, how much goes in that cup, why it goes in that cup. So think about your happily ever after. Think about what you really want to fill that cup with, and know that you are more than deserving of all of it, and that much more. So as far as health and well-being is concerned, the more that you appreciate and love yourself, you treat yourself like the vessel it is carrying your soul to that happily ever after, to your best life ever, grabbing the right cups, going towards more success. It's exciting, and it's exciting for you, and so I am very excited for you as well. Now, I have the Rose Oracle cards here. You know what we didn't do, though? We didn't do our shadow card. So let's do our shadow card. Okay, we'll just turn the deck right over. Oh, look at this. A lot of worry and concern. Not feeling like you've got this, not feeling confident about who you are and where you're going, looking more at the failures and the last attempts and how they turned out. Maybe you fell flat on your face and that's all you're seeing right now. You really need, once again, we're turning around to the cups, right? So it's about dreaming. It's about tapping into love. It's about tapping into your emotion and feeling. It's about feeling sensual. It's about feeling abundance. And it's about growing in the love of life, your passions, your dreams, and maybe in this case, your relationship as a total. Yes, we've all had failures, things that didn't work, things that we tried and ugh, right? Fall on our face, trip and bounce around. That all happens to all of us, but where we're putting our attention is what matters right now. And we are looking over here. We need to turn around and look over here. We need to see those cups empty, standing tall. What are we going to do? We're going to scoop them up. We're going to look at that cup and we're going to make decisions about what we truly want to bring into our life. So turn it around. Don't allow yourself to go down this rabbit hole. Don't stay in this. A lot about the past isn't really going to help you know what to do in the future anyways during this time in your life. So the less you can look in the past, the better. It's the now, it's the present, and it's the future that you are dreaming of and creating in your mind to step into it in reality. Okay, now we'll go to the oracle cards. We'll set that card aside. Oh, look at that. The Hierophant was there. Your connection to your angels, to your spirit guides, to God, to the cosmos. So they're all listening. Your messenger is close at hand. So think positive. Grow your dreams. Grow your anticipation for what is becoming your reality going forward. And our card is the Rose of Venus. Now, you really can't see these cards, which is, I mean, really, it's not much better if I hold it up closer because it's just a pastel. Now, the deck itself is just gorgeous. But it's very pastel-y. It's very soft and tender, and so the images really don't show up as well as I would like. But let's go to the meaning. So this is about alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. So the Rose of Venus. Now try and hold that up a little bit so that you can see it. That's not good. There we go. Okay. Let's try there. So the soul inquiry is the question, what's no longer in alignment with who you are being called to be? Now that's something to ponder. That's something to meditate on. That's something to definitely think about. Pray on. The golden ratio on which the Fibonacci, I don't know, it's a number sequence. I should know that because I do numerology. But anyways, a number sequence in which each and every number is the sum of the preceding two numbers. A rose petals hold on the golden ratio with each new set of petals growing in the spaces of the previous set. Perhaps this is why we feel changed by gazing into the spiral of a rose. The original rose looked very different to those we grow today. It possessed 5 petals, and interestingly, if we track the movements made by the planet Venus as she orbits the sun over a period of 8 years, we see they create a 5-fold rose pattern called the Rose of Venus. Venus was the Roman goddess of love, sex, fertility, and her symbol was the rose. Perhaps ancients knew more about the interconnectedness of the universe and life than we think. There is a sacred order to all things. Nature holds the codes of life, and as you are a part of nature, you do too. There is an intelligent force governing all of life, the same force that tells flowers when to bloom, and the plant how to spin exists within you. Our tendency to overanalyze and overthink can get us out of alignment with nature and thus life. Our resistance to change does this too. The card is an invitation to look at anything that doesn't feel in alignment. It's a reminder to trust the tapestry of your life, your ever-changing nature, and be dedicated to living a life that's deeply aligned. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.